In medieval times, the diet between the rich and poor was very different. Diet was affected by a lot of different things. For example, the upper classes enjoyed more fresh and imported foods because they had the ability to pay for it. The rest of the population had to eat whatever their local land could produce, and in the winter, that was very little. Other things that affected diet was religion. It played a big part, actually. You had things like obligatory fasting days, like Fridays, and in some earlier periods, Wednesdays and Saturdays, where you couldn't eat meat, so these days were fish days. You also had annual fasts, like Lent, Advent, and Rogation days, which have very restrictive diets. So during the medieval times, cooks came up with inventive dishes to satisfy wealthy diners during fasting periods. One clever creation, for Lent specifically, when it was forbidden to eat dairy products, was a mock hard-boiled egg by filling an empty shell with colored almond paste. Also, feast preparation was an enormous undertaking. When the entire royal court gathered, hundreds of guests could be served at once. Major celebrations like Easter and Christmas dinner required months of planning. Preserves had to be ordered and prepared in advance, leading up to these events. The Advent season involved 4 weeks of fasting and simple meals to spiritually prepare for the upcoming feast. All this being said, I am going to make a medieval meal. And then a pinch of ground cinnamon. So, due to my indecisiveness, I decided to make 2 dishes. So first, let's talk about the mushroom pasty. According to what I could find online, the upper class probably did not eat these, because they had a tendency to snuff up their noses to mushrooms, because they were local and forageable food, and unless it was truffles, which were known for their expensiveness and rarity, they didn't really want to have anything to do with it. But also, because of this, the rest of the population probably ate a lot of these, due to the fact that they could forage for mushrooms. And another reason for why the upper class might not have eaten this was apparently because physicians assigned mushrooms melancholic properties. They basically said that the elderly couldn't eat them. I'm not really sure why, but apparently that's the thing that happened. So, this is a mushroom pasty. The other meal I made was spit roasted steak, which was probably something the upper class ate, just due to the fact of how expensive the ingredients could be, and how laborious it probably was to spit roast. Especially because you would have to have someone there to be consistently turning the roast to make sure it cooked evenly. So, my conclusions to making this whole medieval meals was that 1, my family found them all quite delicious, and 2, it's not actually that different than what we currently eat, give or take a few ingredient changes. All of my information for this I got from reading about the recipes in the British Museum's webpage, and then taking the specific recipes I was trying to cook and putting it into Google and doing some general just research about it. Finding other websites that had the same recipes and a little bit of history about it, and reading and using those. This is the end of my video. Thank you for watching and have a good day.